For us, every day is a new opportunity to make sure our first impressions are always our best and to see possibilities on the horizon, to make our facilities and services more accessible and find freedom all around us. With a location proximity to active markets, with a liberal air transportation policy, that daily pursuit is how we turn everyday opportunities for you. For all destination marketing support, customized packages for new existing airlines and operators, and for a highly ranked tourist destination, the Gambia Civil Aviation Authority is here to serve. We regulate air transport, operate and manage BIA technical requirements merged with commercial considerations. We have experienced and well-trained aviation professionals to cater for your needs. For investment opportunities in building airport hotels, shopping malls, playground for children, do contact us on 4472-831, 4472-893. Gambia Civil Aviation Authority. We go beyond daily.
Stewart & Co. Solicitors, a legal excellence firm in London that can help you with all aspects of your legal work. If you are looking at immigrating to the United Kingdom, Stewart & Co. can help you to set up business, buy houses in the UK, and will deal with all your legal works from start to finish.
For all your general immigration work, we can help you with that as well. If you're applying for any form of visa, whether student visas, settlement visas, marriage visas, or a child wanting to come to the United Kingdom to settle with the family, we can help you to achieve your goals.
Stewart & Co. Solicitors, a legal excellence firm specializing in conveyancing, immigration, litigation, family law, personal injury, licensing, no win, no fee. Contact us today at www.sk-solicitors.com.
And do small or big projects with the same dedication and commitment as we do. With a reputation as the leading printing company in the country, when it comes to major projects and innovative solutions, we always deliver in high quality, thus receiving the trust and confidence of our clients. From the moment your order is placed to when it is delivered, we believe in exceeding expectations from the sales manager to the production team, the account manager, and the person delivering your material. We have state-of-the-art equipment and a highly experienced and competent workforce that enables us to deliver top-quality work on time. At reasonable prices, we provide our clients with multiple solutions right from conceptualizing, designing, printing, binding, publishing, and distribution. For all your printing requirements, we are strategically located at the Sankumsila Highway, the Gambia Printing and Publishing Corporation. We print what you desire.
Introducing Gamtel Corporate Internet for home use. Sihu, everyone at home can be online at the same time and for less than you think.
Now daddy can be home early and mommy and dad with the family can all have fun together.
You can now complete your work at home with our stable, secured and super fast home broadband fixed wireless internet.
Home internet couldn't be faster.
Download, stream videos, research, play games, learn online and work from the comfort of your home.
You can do with the internet.
Join Gamtel Sihu today and enjoy the fastest home wireless broadband internet at an affordable monthly subscription.
Gamtel, creating a brighter future in communications.
Hello and welcome to another special interview here on Kerr Fatou. Tonight with me, I have the CEO of the OIC Gambia Secretariat, Mr. Lamin Sanneh. Mr. Sanneh, welcome to Kerr Fatou.
Thank you for
In communication, connectivity is everything.
We ensure that the links never sleep. Quantities and qualities, all in our data service, providing efficient, reliable voice and data service. We believe if you're not up to speed, then you're going backwards. Communications have to flow as fast as the speed of light. Whatever business you're in, having someone who understands your needs is critical. That is why we just don't offer you technology, we offer you solutions. Enjoy Gamcel's internet broadband anytime, anywhere. Your national operator, Gamcel, Yai Baram.
sam pap
dee na
déedéet daf ma yónni woon ma joué ko bii waaw yàlla def mu gagné jàppoon $100,000 la
laa ilaha illallah
te yow xam nga ne sama papa dafa amee cardiaque
yow da ngaa dof yow xam nga luy $100,000
xam naa ko kay man naa lu ñëw bëggoon nga dimbali ci
demal na nga def damaa toog rek sama xel mi ne ci yow xam nga bërki démb li daal si benn waay fee waaw ma romb ko rek bërki démb waaw muy yuuxu di tëb ma ni kii lu ko dal ñu ne ma daal ci loto gaming Gambie bi la laal
jar na ko
laal na ci lu di waaw
xam nga dafa am quarté am kente am tiercé waaw maanaam nag tey jii kente bi la te jackpot bee passé xaalis
kente mooy lan
kente maanaam mooy juróomi fas yi
waaw beneen bi
am na quarté mooy ñeenti fas yi ak tiercé tey nag xaalis bi daa gën a yokk
lu tax
ndax jackpot bële dañ kaa tegaat ci bii maanaam juróomi fas yi boo ko jàppee ci ordre mooy risque nga désordre bi sax day fay bu ma ko jàppoon
yooyu moom noonu la demee da ngay dem rek g
am na lu ma yaakaar
gis naa seen kii yi keesku yu ndaw yi ci biir dëkk bi mais daal dama ni lii moom amul xaalis da nga ciy def sa xaalis te doo am
jël wecce rek sànni ko fa xool jëmbat la laa ilaha illallah yow li nga wax ni tey ji bu yàlla dogaloon ma gañe ko lu mu gàtt
fi mu toll nii boo gañe woon $100,000
waaw lu may def
waaw nooy def
xam nga yow sama xarit nga
waaw
damay fexe nga rey say noonu
ci nan
lu mu gàtt $50,000
waay
Thierno woowee l'ambulance
lan la lu xew ni
sa baay gay dee na
sam papa gay lu ko rey
$100,000 laa ne ko boo ma gañaloon si li ma la yónni dama ko koy jox mu daanu ni sama kaw
man waxuma ko mu waxee woon la ko noonu yow la ko waroon informé ndax yow yaa ko gañe yaa gañe jàppoon.
Dreaming of owning a property in a prime location with great proximity and fantastic neighborhood? EJ Investments Sanyang Seaview Estate is the best choice you have been waiting for. Our Sanyang Seaview Estate is approximately 15 minutes drive away from the busy hub of Brusubi roundabout and into the heart of nature, where you can have a peaceful and relaxed lifestyle with your family. You can buy a finished 4-bedroom story with 5-year flexible payment plan or a service plot with 2-year payment plan option. With over 300 homes, you will enjoy big tar roads with covered drainage, modern electrification with solar street lights, gated entrance with security post, and a breath-catching experience of our beautiful sea view and lake view. You can own a home today at our Sanyang Seaview Estate. Call us today on 446-4838 or 325-9220. Visit our website on ejinvestments.net. EJ Investments, first in property.
Effective January 1st, 2019, the Gambia Revenue Authority, in consultation with the Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs, have now effectively removed charges on tax identification number TIN. Yes, no more charges on TIN. This means you can now walk into any GRA tax office and obtain a TIN free of charge. Not only that, the new TIN has improved features and appearing this time not on a hard copy but in a simpler A3 size copy. Application for a TIN remains the same, and all you need to do is to provide your national ID card, passport copy, or a birth certificate to obtain one. Applicants are urged to apply in person or give written authority to representatives or people processing their applications on their behalf, and avoid using agents. Rush now to any GRA office to get your TIN at absolutely no cost. GRA, collecting revenue for national development.
Sophie Milk, me Sophie Latamu. Sophie meew la bu sell te neex baax na ci halal ak mag yépp am na calcium iron protein ak vitamine yu bari Sophie full cream powder milk la am na 20 gram 200 gram ak 400 gram ku ko ñam dootu ko bàyyi Sophie proudly Gambian
jaxle dikkal na ma de war a dem Makka te xaw ma fu may demee ji rek.
hello Modou ma ne demal ma jiyaayee léegi nga fayal ma suma tiketu Makka bi.
da ngay dem rek.
damay dem di jiyaayee laay demal.
man de kon fa laay demee ji.
xanaa xamuloo woon foo war a demee.
xaw ma ko woon di.
jiyaayee ñoo ko moom kon foo war a demee.
xanaa jiyaayee rek.
jiyaayee rek nga war a demee sa bos la yaa ko moom. soo ca demee ca nga war a demee boo ca demut ca nga war a demee.
waaye kon de dama la jox nga dem jënd ma rek.
ayca.
waaye ndey seen dëkkukaay yo nag.
dëkkuwaay yi dafa baax ba dee gis nga fi ñu dëkkoon daaw ca Medina danga naan allahu akbar ca xaram ba nga dox ndànk génn sa néeg dox ndànk dem julli Makka nag kenn waxatu ko ñu ngi ca digg ba da ngay taxaw nii seen lamp yi xaram bi yaa ngi may dégg te nag képp koo xam ne da ngay julli ji rek foog nga jaar suñu boor dem ca xaram ba
waaw lekkookaay
yow dañuy lekk ba doyal lekk ba suur ñu dañuy lekk ba desal lekk ba génn ci biti di maye
kuy fay nag fooy fay jee
Ecobank bu la gën a jegeñ dem fa 100,000 ngay déposit ca Ecobank ñu jox la receipt nga dem ca seen makkaan nga xam ne moo nekk ca bunti airport ba jox leen ko ñu jox la seen receipt wa illa nga dem nag Kairaba ca seen office ba 50 Kairaba avenue ca buildingu FIG
asalaamaaleykum
waaw yow bete ku dem Makka ni da ngay dem Makka
anduma fi bàyyi fay naa bu yàgg fay naa sax
jinta jiyaaye la di jiyaaye ñooy yaatal seen tur rek defal ko ba mu baax def lan Gambia National Travel and Hajj Agency fépp foo xam ne mbirum ticket la rek ñoo ko yore ak geeg ñaaw geeg dem gi yëpp ñoo ko yore
ma ne lépp lu jubbi ci muri aj rek ñoo koy def mooy avion
waaw seen office ba nga xam ne moo nekk ca seen bunti airport ba seen office bi xam nga nañ ko tabaxee comme plane soo duggee ci biir sax plane bi yëkkati la yóbbu la GIA nag ñoo national carrier yow itamit nag GIA ñoo ko moom.
For the first time, actually, Nyangja has been hiding you away from us. So I am so happy to have the first exclusive since the change of events at the OIC. But first, we want to start with who Lamin Sanneh is, because you know, all of a sudden, it's we have a new secretariat. Gambia is hosting the OIC, and there's this guy. He's an investment banker. You know, he's heading the secretariat. But who is Lamin Sanneh for the Gambians who don't really know who you are? Tell us about your background.
Thank you, Fatou. First of all, I don't think Nyang was hiding me. I think it was an issue of timing.
Yeah.
Because we were involved in so many issues and we don't want to speculate.
Okay.
And to talk to the media about what we do, with reference to that, I don't believe in speculation. So I wanted first to get the facts and do the briefing. So talking to journalists and the media was something that I was not prepared to do at the time. Not because I don't want to, but I don't want to speculate. Maybe for clarity, for people to understand.
But you know, he's always my NCT, so that's it.
Now, coming back to myself, I was born in 1972 in Banjul. My father was a politician, the late Jalo Sanneh, son of Karamo Kaba Sanneh. People who know the history of Gambia, who know my family background. My mom is called Kerr Fatou, from Badibo originally, but settled in Esau. I went to Albion School, primary school, did my common entrance. I was head boy of Albion School, and I went to Muslim High School 1 year. My father was not happy with my, probably not my results and stuff, because I think it was more to do with the way he saw the people around me. He thought at the time that probably the best thing is to keep him away. He sent me to a boarding school in Sierra Leone, in Bo, where I was until Form 4. I came, but during the war, Liberia war started, and the rebels were getting closer to Kenema, which is not far from the border. And I came back in the third year, so I lost almost 1 or 2 years of school because of the change. Yeah. Then I came to Gambia High School, did my O-levels, then went to St. Augustine, did my A-levels. Then I left for the UK to do my ACIB, then a second degree in banking and finance, then a master's in finance.
And then you went straight into banking, of course.
No,
From
I did
school.
not. I came back in 2001 after the elections, and I started work at the GTA Gambia Tourism Board. We started it.
Okay.
I set up the finance department, and I was there for 2 years, and we did a lot at the GTA. That was my first taste of government work. I really enjoyed it, and I was happy I had that opportunity at the time, because it was a difficult moment, and Gambia was trying to rebrand itself back into tourism.
Yeah.
And it was important that the authority was there to support the sector. We were not there for a hotel, but to support the sector. So we invest quite a lot of money into putting these street lights and so many things and facilities into the TDA. And I was also responsible for licensing and all that. So I learned a lot about the industry, and I worked with people, working with government. So yes, it was an interesting period. So after 2 years at GTA, 2003, I had the opportunity to join Standard Chartered. So that was my first, yes, I started with Standard Chartered 2003, September.
And working at Standard Chartered Bank, you went regional. Looking at your CV, you also worked with the Standard Chartered Bank Gambia. How was that transition like in Ghana, going from the Gambia?
It's the same group. I was here for 2 years in corporate, less than a year in treasury. I had the opportunity to go to Standard Chartered Ghana, where I supported the treasury team. I think based on what we did as a team, I was identified as a potential, I believe. And I was sent to the emerging market at the time called Nigeria. And I was sent to Standard Nigeria. And probably that was the pick-off or the beginning of things for me, because I think my period in Nigeria changed a lot in my life, personally.
How?
Nigeria is a big market.
It's a big market.
I was doing much more in terms of work. I was exposed to bigger markets, to bigger clients, to new products. And I guess through that process, the EcoBank team took notice, and I was poached. Then I was asked to join the EcoBank head office in Lome, but no, I stayed in Accra. So I was working from the Accra office, and I was responsible for setting up the treasury sales business for the group. At the time, I think we were 18 countries. EcoBank was only in 18 countries. And then we finished that setup, and then we moved into East and Southern Africa, where I used to run the whole platform on the treasury sales, have to hire new staff and all that, and grew that business to something that was not expected within that short period of time. But at least I think that the team was good. We had a young team. We all wanted to learn. There was nothing like, oh, this is how we used to do it here. We were very open with challenges. We spent a lot of time trying to talk to customers, trying to address the needs of the customers. So we grew that business within a short period of time. And I was asked to go to Sierra Leone. There was a problem with the bank. I think the two audits were not good with the Central Bank of Sierra Leone. And there was a warning that if the bank was not fixed, it would be closed. So the group CEO at the time decided that probably Lamin can do something about it. He sent me to Sierra Leone, alhamdulillah, within 6 months with the local team. We had to make some changes though. Some staff have to go. That's me. I'm a very straightforward guy. I don't mess up with my work. Some have to leave, and they had to leave. And we had to bring in new people. Within 6-7 months, we turned around the bank. After 1 year, I was recalled back to the center. And I was asked now to focus on East and SADC, meaning I had West Africa, but my main focus now to grow was not this region, because this region was matured already. The EcoBanks were established. EcoBank Gambia was the newest among the bloc, with Sierra Leone. They were very small. There was not much more we could do on the balance sheet side at the time because of the capital limitations we had. So East and SADC as a region had a big potential in terms of numbers and products. And agriculture was very big. So I was asked to focus on setting up the new EcoBank. So I was part of the team that was involved in going around setting up these banks. So I did that until 2011. I was bored
You were bored with the money or what?
No. I was bored with the work, I was doing, and I wanted to change, and it was difficult because my boss didn't want me to leave the department. And I said, okay, let me go do Islamic banking, because it was something that I had planned what I wanted to do in terms of my own career development and personal development. And Islamic banking at the time was emerging, and I knew at some point if I wanted to retire, as I planned to do into consultancy and advisory role, I need to have both sides of the world. And you have the conventional banking at that level, working in credit, treasury, corporate, trade finance already. If you can get Islamic financing, it would be good. So I decided to join IDB and to work with the trade finance unit. So I was made assistant general manager for Sub-Saharan Africa. So I was looking at the whole of Sub-Saharan Africa. So that was my first exposure with OIC.
Working with the IDB was your first exposure. So working with the IDB, now you have got more of international, per se. So at that level, how was your exposure, even though you worked with the regional bloc, how was the exposure?
In this business of ours, the higher you go, the more complex it gets, more political, because at the corporate level, I enjoyed the job because I was traveling frequently. So at that level, you need to be very strong because you're in a complex environment. You also have to understand, as a small Gambia, people look at us and say, but why these guys? When did they have a university? They've asked me those questions internationally. Why are you from Gambia? How did you get here? When did you have a university? So, but again, at that level, it's performance. If you perform, you'll grow. If you don't perform, then you will not grow. But it's very challenging because you do complex things. Like at the IDB, running the Sub-Saharan Africa portfolio on corporate and trade finance was very difficult. I had to make decisions. I have to give money to people that I have to be on my toes. I have to go to terrains that nobody wants to go. I have to assess risk that, yes, this is very difficult, but you have to find a solution.
Yeah.
Especially working with the governments. Imagine I had done a lot with the Gambia government at the time.
At the time.
Yes. GMPC, GGC, NAWEC. Yes, I've done quite a lot with those three parastatals to support them to grow. With the Gambia government directly, Senegal. I've done a lot with Senegal government, Mali. During the war, they had problems with power. I put my foot down and I made sure that they got $24 million stream, $8 million every quarter to bring HFO to make sure that Bamako area gets power. It was difficult. I had to go to Lloyd's to strike a deal with the insurance to cover the non-payment guarantee because Mali was a high risk at the time. And I had to also make sure that the Central Bank of BCO, UMOA is involved. So it's complex. So you deal with all those separate different stakeholders. Everybody has his own risk to mitigate. So yeah, it's complex, but with time you learn, and if you are flexible, you are open, you talk to people, you find solutions, and you have a team behind you. What is important at that level when you lead by example? You lead by example.
So what happened? Why did you leave IDB? Because this was something that you were working directly.
I said to you that sometimes I get bored.
You get bored, and you have to move on.
Yes. I'm too young to stay too long in a job.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, I can take that risk. So yes, IDB. I left IDB not because I wanted to leave at the time. I was in demand. It was basically like the highest payer at the time. I'm young. I need to do things for myself. I went to IDB. I did a very good 2 years. I won 4 or 5 awards for Africa. That 24 months I was there. Malawi, we did the best Islamic banking transaction, $50 million. When Malawi devaluation, they had a devaluation with the World Bank. Serious problem. Nobody wanted to give them money. We put money for them, $50 million, to bring in fuel into the country because they were bringing. It's a landlord country. They don't have a port, and any shortage of fuel is political.
Yeah.
So the government approached us. I went there several times. I had meetings with the Central Bank governor, the finance minister, the energy minister. It took us time, but we put the deal together. So these are the things that you deal with at the level. Zambia, the same. We do the same thing. Cameroon. I can sit here and name countries that we deal with, because IDB Africa is about 28 countries. But then we also have non-member countries. So you have countries that are 22, which are OIC member countries. Then you have non-member countries. So the whole of Sub-Saharan Africa portfolio, apart from the Maghreb, which is the Arab zone, was under my portfolio. So dealing with each and every country requirement is different.
And so that gives you an advantage as to working at the OIC Secretariat, because you had worked with these countries prior.
Yeah. So when I left IDB, I went back to EcoBank. They approached me that if I would like to come back. Actually, what happened when I was leaving EcoBank, there was a gentleman's agreement, what we call right of first refusal.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, if you live in IDB, the first back is you come home.
You come home.
First, we have to decide whether we have something to match what you want or not. So yes, that was there. And they kept I was constantly in touch with the MD, the group CEO at the time, who really loved me. We had a personal relationship. Even the one after took over, his successor also kept. I remember when they wanted me to come back and we had a chat, I got a call, say, look, you know what, we don't want to waste time on this thing. Let's agree today and finish this thing. So the deal was closed in one day, which was very, very, very rare. But we agreed and then things were done. So I came back to EcoBank, but this time I was based in Kenya. So I was running both SADC and again, eastern part of trade, treasury and stuff, supporting the MDs to grow their businesses. So I've been involved in the international finance for quite a long, both Islamic and conventional. And alhamdulillah, I've done a lot of things. I don't want to say things, but I've tried my best.
You tried
Everywhere I am, I've done my best.
And then you went, you worked with this group in Dubai, was it?
Yeah, the Luther family, one of the richest families, Luther, the owners of Dubai Islamic Bank.
Yeah.
Yes. I was head of the structured finance team for the group.
So from coming from that structured career of international investment, banking, having an idea about the economy of the sub-region, let's just say the world and the Arab world as well, and all of a sudden, how did you become the CEO of the Gambia Secretariat of the OIC? Was this anything that you had planned?
Honestly.
Did you apply for the job?
No, I had no
clue.
So
how did you become the CEO of the OIC?
Well, I was preparing to travel to Baghdad. At the time we were doing a project with the government of Iraq. It was about 450 million phase 1, another 300 million after phase 2, 18 months. It was an electrification project for the government of Iraq between, I think it was 450 kilometer stretch, the first phase. And one Friday I got a call from some senior people here that they were at the Ministry of Infrastructure discussing about OIC. And they were forward how to approach it. And I think within the discussion, some of the guys, the senior citizens of this country said, you know what, if we want to get this thing done correctly, the way we want to benefit, there's one person we know we can talk to, let's try him. And I said, no, who is he? And somebody mentioned, I don't want to mention people's name, but one of them said, look, there's this chap in Dubai, let's talk to him. We might not get him, but he can help. He's in this resource mobilization, funding, structuring transactions for different countries, for governments and stuff. I saw him. I went to see him in his office. I've worked with him. He was here. So we all know him. He's got the network and he's got the capacity. So let's talk to him. It's just a call. If he doesn't want to help, he will tell us I cannot. So I got a call. After Juma, I was waiting for lunch, sitting in the garden. I got a call and said, oh, Lamin, you're on speakerphone. For what? I said, for what? I said, no, I'm at the ministry with these guys. We're discussing and we want to talk to you about the OIC. I said, okay. He said, you know, Gambia is hosting. I said, yes, I read it in the papers. And he said, yes, we are thinking about how to put this thing together in terms of a structure. Because they want to do a lot of projects. Yeah. And there's no money. So how are we going to do this? I said to him, well, there's different ways of doing things. We have options. So, but first of all, what does Gambia need from this? Yeah. You need to establish what you want first. What you want to achieve, then you walk back and see how you can achieve it and then put certain things in place. So we had that one-on-one on the call and I said to them, okay, send me the kind of projects you have in mind and I will think about it. Then we can have the discussion. But I'm not sure I'm available now because I've started a new project and I'm flying tomorrow to Baghdad for a week. So maybe I can help framework and a few things, then we take it from there. I can be an advisor if possible, if time allows me. And that was, for me, that was it.
You just wanted to be an advisor?
Well, because I didn't have the details, I don't know what it entails, all that. Yeah. Then I think 2 days after, or the following day, I got a WhatsApp text with the list of the projects. I said, well, this is too much. This is a lot for a poor country like Gambia. Well, anyway, we'll see. So I said, okay, let me prepare a framework, a strategy framework, and how to put this thing together, and how to run it, and how to implement it. And the first point I said was after the summit. Yeah.
That's important.
Yes. So I said to myself, no, let's start after the summit and walk back. What do we want to achieve at the end of the summit? We've been known for tourism from that day, because I used to work in the industry.
Yeah.
So I have a background. I've been traveling internationally. I know what others have, what we don't have. And I know what we have. If we build on it, we can compete with anybody for international conferences. Our biggest problem is what? Access, but we can fix that.
Yeah.
If people believe we have facilities, we have services we can deliver, airlines will come here. People will come.
Yeah.
And airlines follow people. People don't follow airlines. Airlines they follow the passengers, destination. So I said to myself, probably this is an opportunity for the country to use this and then take off from there, use this as a base to take off. So I did a framework, prepared, and then put a structure how to run this. I worked on a few things on the resource mobilization, the countries to target. So I prepared a very good document, and I sent it to the people, and that was it. So one day, I have a very good friend who everybody knows my relationship with, Modu Jagana, and we were talking. I said to him, this is what happened. He said, okay, I didn't know that they're talking to you. I said, yes, they brought this thing, and this is what I did. So I came back on normally I'm here December 19th, because I don't normally, I cannot take 10 days leave at once, more than 10 days. That's at my level, no. The maximum days I can take on vacation is 10 days at a point in time. But I normally keep 10 days for my father's annual charity. I have to be here from the 23rd. Okay. So I normally come on the 19th or 20th to prepare for the charity. So I came, I went to the TAF function.
The TAFCon?
Yeah, TAFCon.
Yeah.
So I was sitting at the back with Alaji Gay, one of my friends. We were in Ghana together. And I think the president came and said, oh, the diaspora should come and say hello and stuff like that. We'll come on stage and greet him and stuff like that. So, yeah. So I sit at the back and I said, Alaji said, boy, and them. I said, no, I'm not diaspora. Yeah. So I sat. So we were talking, backstory, Sahel, Uncle Bax, who was very close to my uncle. So he came and said to me, Jogal, President ngeen dem nuyu ko nga fi soo ñëwee fi di nëbbu nit yi kenn du la gis. And I told him, no, Uncle Bax, he said diaspora. So I was expecting that it's the people who live outside. I live here. Yeah. So I count myself, I'm still in Ghana. You just walk. Yeah, because every time I'm here. Yeah. All I have, I put it in this country. So he said, no, but get up, go and say hello. So I said to Alaji, let's go. So Alaji first said, let's go. So we went. So when we got to the president, Taf was next to me. And Taf said, Mr. President, this is the Lamin. So he held my hand, we greet each other, and then I left. So later Modu called me and said, let's go see the president on this issue, because I think he was properly briefed, and he wanted to see me, so I was invited. So I went to State House. And we had a chat, we greet each other, we had a long discussion, and I explained to him what I thought was the best approach, in my view, and that I think this is the way to do it, and what we can also get out of it, and after the summit, how do we manage these assets? We should not wait until the finish of the summit, end of the summit, we start saying how we're going to manage the hotel, how we're going to manage the conference facility. We need to decide it now and put the structures in place, so that when we got to that point, it becomes automatic, so it's seamless. Yeah. Maybe some of the people we have in some of these other areas will continue the project and change the name or whatever. So I gave him different options. Yeah. And at the end of the meeting, he told me, I think you know what you do. You know what you do. And what you just explained to me, I think I got it. And I want you to come and help. I'll do whatever if I can for you to come. I told him it's difficult. Yeah. You can't get me. No. Because you can't pay me.
You said that to him?
Yes, I said to him, it ain't your no.
It ain't your no.
No. So what we can do, I'll try my best to come and help. All you have to do, write a letter to my employer and say, is there Muslims that Gambia is hosting? We need support on technical assistance. I've done enough for them. They will, if they don't agree, we'll find a way. We'll find a way.
We'll find a way.
So that I will be involved on the project. Yeah. But I knew there would be a way.
There will be a way.
Yes, but not salary. Okay. Because I was not willing to leave my international job to come home. I'm not ready to come home for now, so I was not prepared to leave that. You were not prepared? No. And I also know that, coming home, leaving your career and all that, you come here, things can change, and then what do you do? So I was not prepared to take that risk. Because I was in the middle of a project that I cannot walk away from. Yeah. Because I designed the project, so I cannot run away from it. Yeah, it's against it was for my legacy. So he said, what's wrong? I said, yes, okay. Yeah, okay. So he left, and then I left. And 2 days after I got a call, I had to go back to State House. We had other discussions with other officials. So they take my number, so I left. And then that's how we started. So it took us 2 months to get it through. First, my boss said, no. You? No way. So who's going to do this? He started talking, who's going to do this? Who's going to do that? You know, Sulal, you know. Yeah. But then he knew I was serious. 2 days after, he came back to my office. But do you really mean that you want to go home? I said, yes. If you allow me, I want to go home.
And help my country. He
said, come to my office. So I went to his office. Then he had gone to read about the OIC. I found he had this big screen on his office. So I was looking at the OIC, I saw the Turkey summit, the former president was standing, and so I saw a lot. He was reading through. He said, but Lamin, 3 years is too much. Going back and forth 3 years, and all this we want to do. Now the European, because we are trying to do investment in Estonia and Serbia and others. So what do we do? I told him, you know what? It depends on what you can allow. 1 week, 2 weeks. You decide. You are the boss. I'm just asking you for help my country. So if you agree, this is what I want to do. So we had that given 2 months. It took us. Yeah. At some point, I think the president nearly gave up because they were saying, he will not come. I was told that some people were saying, oh,
he will not leave that kind of job.
He wouldn't go out.
Yeah.
But I was, for me, I wanted to do it.
You wanted to do it?
Yes, because I knew it was an opportunity for us to do something.
For the country?
Yes. And I want to be part of it. Not for money, for anything. So one day, I said to him, you know, if you don't do this, I'll resign. So that changed the whole scenario. Yes, if you don't do this, I'll leave. Yes. So we finished that phase, and I called the Secretary General. Then I said, yes, I'm coming.
Wow.
So it was a wide relief.
That was a big relief.
Yes, I got 2 calls that night from some very senior people from this country. That Lamin, we understand you're coming. Alhamdulillah. And thank you very much.
Relieved.
So we started making the arrangements. I came in the 1st of March, I think. I flew in 2018, last year.
So you came in and set up this team and set up the secretariat. At that point, was there any money from the government to just put the secretariat together? Because that is important. You came in, and then this is the OIC, two years to the OIC. At that point, did you believe that you will be able to achieve the 2019 target? At that point?
No, but you know, there are 2 parts, Fatou. You have to also remember, a summit is a summit. There's a requirement for a summit. There's an infrastructure required to support the summit.
Okay.
Now, if you break it into 2, yes, when I came in, the conference facility was approved. Construction had started a few months earlier, August, I think. And they've gone far, it's on course and all that. But then there was no structure around it. And you cannot build without a foundation.
Yeah.
So we said, okay, first, how do we run this entity? So we had to register, because my proposal was to register an independent entity.
Why was that important to register it as an independent entity?
I wouldn't fit in the government
because
system.
This is a government.
This
is a government.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes,
why
yes,
would it?
Yes,
because
yes.
that discussion came a lot. You know, people were saying, "Oh, this is under the government," and others said, "No, this is a private entity."
No.
Why did you? Was that your decision or?
No, it was a proposal.
A proposal you put together.
We cannot run a project like this under
the central government.
No.
Okay.
I've worked with them. I know the bureaucracy. I know how things are done. With the time frame we had, no. When you're independent, 100% owned by the government, yes. Registered under the office of the president, yes. Board members will be the key stakeholders. That's why we put the ministers, because we need decisions. And these are policy makers, they decide. So we cannot have it people who don't decide to sit on our board, and then we go around again, go to people to decide to, we will not go anywhere.
Yeah.
So the proposal I made was, let's set it up in this structure, okay? And then we have the LOC, which will be the local organizing committee. You can put the private Gambians who are more speed, and because they know what they will do when we get to the, so that the setup was not, we have to be on the government. We are government anyway, it's a government project.
Yeah.
But it has to be run on a legal entity, separate legal entity.
Legal entity.
That's why they set up the secretariat. The secretariat is a registered legal entity. It's not just an office.
Okay.
It has its rights.
Okay. And then when you guys set up the financing, but at that point,
no, we didn't have money.
How was government supporting the
we didn't have money. We have when I came in, there was a pledge from the Saudi government to say we will support the Gambia OIC office secretariat to prepare for the summit, like they do for. It's not only Gambia, they do for other countries. Yes. Even in Bangladesh, when they hosted the foreign ministers, they did. Cote d'Ivoire, they did. They do. So anywhere there's a summit, the OIC office, the Saudi government has an office under the Ministry of Foreign Affairs called OIC Secretariat. Very powerful office. Got a huge budget to support their operations and other OIC member countries. So they pledged to support the government with the maintenance of that office. So when I came, that was a pledge. There was no money in the bank account. We didn't have a bank account. So we had to come open a bank account, do the thing, register here, get the office here. I proposed here because it's in the heart of our projects. So there is no need to stay in Banjul when all you're doing is in this part of the world. So we need to be part of here. Yeah. So then I said, look, we can look at the Gambia Petroleum if there's space. There was space luckily, so we got it. So we started with that. Then first thing was to say, okay, we've got to get money from Saudi. How do we run the office for now until, because it takes time to get these monies in. Yes, the government, I made a request and it was agreed at the board that yes, the government should see what they can help us to start while the money is coming. Yes, so that happened. Yeah. They had to start the office with some money, and then when our funds came in, immediately we paid them. We returned the money. So yes, that was there. But then for the projects, that was the money. But then again, in the proposal that we did, in the strategy we adopted, which was presented at the first board meeting, and at the time, Mama Fatoumata was the vice president. She chaired in person because the president cannot chair this meeting, so delegates to the vice president, who chaired the meeting. We presented the budget, we presented the strategy, we presented everything, was approved. The work plan was approved, the positions were approved, the organogram was approved, the capex was approved. Then I said, next board meeting, we need to look at the priority projects, because I need to work with people to now sit and say, okay, what is priority for this country?
What is priority?
Yeah, because we cannot have all these projects lined up. We can't do that. We don't have the money. Yeah. And we don't have the time. Now, what is needed now, which we believe we can achieve if we get the money early? Again, getting the money early was very critical. And we were very hopeful at the time that because of the OIC thing, the member countries will put the money. But then we have not even started traveling. Because a lot of people had this assumption, oh, Senegal definitely go, it doesn't work like that. You have to be within the structure to understand. This is politics, it involves a lot of negotiations, a lot of explanation, which we will get to. So yes, so we started with that, saying, okay, what is priority? So when we started the recruitment, we advertised. All the positions were advertised in the papers, except the drivers, because State House had some drivers that we have to move with. Yeah. So we started the recruitment with PMO, and we selected the best according to scores. Yeah. We had a panel of 4 or 5, which I was a member, and we averaged the scores. The chairperson at the time was the PS at PMO, and we did the scores, and we recommended based on the scores. And whoever came out top in the various units that was advertised got the job, and we recommended to the board. It was approved, and then we hired people.
And then the team was set up, and then you start operation. But looking at being into operation for almost a year plus, what would you say this secretariat has achieved from the setup to today?
A lot, Fatou, a lot.
In terms of projects?
A lot. You know, today, Gambia has been talked about for different reasons. Today, if you go into any search engine to check Gambia, what do you get?
Oh, I see.
And that's a big attraction. And secondly, today, if you talk about Gambia in the Islamic world, I said, yes, they fought to fight for the Rohingyas, human rights. Okay? And that summit, I'm not saying we did it, but if it was not us, it would not happen. So the Secretariat took his stance to make sure that, yes, Gambia commit to host this summit, we are going to host it, and we hosted it. And today I can proudly say I was in Bangladesh, and we were received I was with the Foreign Minister and Cabinet Secretary. We were received by the Prime Minister on a Friday, non-working day, and she expressed her gratitude to the government of the Gambia and the people of the Gambia for keeping to their word. Today, you're looking at 1,215 of our security personnel have got very good training. 30% of that have traveled to Turkey. Police Academy, which is the best police academy in the world, benchmarked for training. Okay? The GRTS, 9 of their key cameramen, different sectors, were sent to Turkey for training. They've got some cameras, some equipment, so we did. Today, a lot of Gambians sign contract with the Secretariat, creating jobs. We have not given any contract to any non-Gambian as we speak today. Everything we have done from when we started is done by Gambian companies. So that's extra business. So we have put them to a level where they have never expected to be. Our website is built by young Gambians coming home. Okay? Now, today, what have we done? What have you achieved? A lot. Today you're talking about we're going to build a road. Yes, we did that. We moved to go get the money. I travel all over with some ministers asking for that support.
So that's why I want to come in. The mandate, of course, of the Secretariat is to resource
First, our mandate primarily is to mobilize resources, to invest in the projects that will support a successful hosting of the summit.
Yeah.
In that, we've identified 5 key projects. Phase 1.
Yeah.
Okay? Which is the hotel, which is the road network, water, electricity because we split that, and the VIP lounge.
Yeah.
And we are also supporting the expansion work at the airport.
At the airport.
With the furnishing and others as part of our program. So that alone is a lot.
So how much of the resource, the budget, the OIC budget for the hosting, how much of it is being realized? What percentage? Let's say what percentage?
Well, we didn't have a budget at the time to say this is the budget.
Yeah.
Like I said,
but you had projects.
There were projects that the committee that was set up.
Yeah.
There was an interdepartmental committee that was set up by the government to look into what should be done. They had 3 hotels, $1.2 billion, if that's what you want to hear.
Yeah.
For me, that was not realistic. Where are you going to get $1.2 billion that period of time to do? It's not realistic.
It was not realistic.
That's why we said, let's go back to the drawing board and prioritize with the board. And the board agreed that, yes, you're right. We cannot do all these things. So let's prioritize.
Let's prioritize.
So we sat as a management, looked at the individual projects, linked to where we want to be, again, which is very important. People, where do we want to be after the summit? And then we linked these projects to that because that's the priority.
Yeah.
We've decided this is where we are to go. The board said yes. The president was on board. So we said, okay, how do we get there? So the projects we identified to take us there, those were the priority projects we identified. And then we went to sell those things. So we went to Saudi, we went to Turkmenistan, we went to Azerbaijan, we went to Turkey. We went to where else did we go? I think on this side, we went to Cote d'Ivoire, we went to Cameroon, we went to Niger, went to Bangladesh, I went to Indonesia, and there are about 12 countries we visited. Of course, I went to Qatar, I went to Kuwait. UAE, the team went to UAE, I didn't go. The team went to UAE and Kazakhstan. I was not feeling well, so I didn't go. But somebody deputized for me, and yes, and then we prepare when we travel, because it's a pitch. We're going to pitch.
So how was Gambia received at the international level when you go to?
No, we had a road show.
Yeah.
We call it in our business a road show, where we identified each country. Because when we sat, we knew all the member countries cannot help, but then we knew 15, 16 had deep pockets that we can tap into, but we need to approach it differently. So we had different approaches for every country. So what we did was to prepare a road show map and say, okay, where do we start, where do we end? Because we also have to know the geopolitics. There are certain countries you cannot go at the same time. Yeah. So you have to go here and then go here. So you go. So you have to manage that.
That's why I was going to come in. How did the Arabian, issue play in? We know Turkey and Saudi and
yes.
they are not.
We are a small country, very friendly country.
Yeah.
So I don't think we will get into that mode, because I don't think that's where we want to be. I think we've been very friendly to everybody, and we'll continue that. Our foreign policy has been very, very clear, which I agree. We need to be an independent state and support our brothers and sisters, the Ummah, what is important. So yes, it was not easy, but we went on this road show, And first, I went to Saudi first. But remember, the summit was supposed to be in March, April.
Yeah. April?
Yes, that's the date, because Turkey's term was finishing on the 16th of April.
Okay.
Not November.
Wow.
So when we said, I said, hey, it's not possible. We only have 11 months, March, April next year. So it's not possible. The conference facility was not going to be ready. So why you have April as a date? Let's not joke about this thing. So what do? I said, look, no, we have to go to the General Secretariat in Jeddah and tell them. Engage them. Engage the Foreign Ministry. Engage the Turkish who are the chair and inform them that, hey, we want to do this thing, but it's not possible. We need to move the date because the conference facility is very key in this. I knew at the time, and I advised the team, we had a long discussion that, look, we can get this over the line if we get the money early. That's why I said we had milestones at some point.
Yeah.
So when I went to Saudi, I engaged the Saudis, and I presented our case. And they looked at me and said, you know, Lamin, you are right. Absolutely right. We didn't think like this, but this is correct. We agree. Let's move it to November. That's where the November came from. I went to Turkey. I went with the team to Turkey to sell that. They also agreed. I went to Dakar to meet all the OIC member countries' embassies to sell the date to them. They agreed.
Yeah, great.
That yes, you are right. But some told me, Lamin, I think you will extend more. Why don't you do it now and then later?
Then later, yeah.
Yeah, just say you cannot host it this year, we move on. But then we had 1 year to that. We can't do that.
We can't do that.
At the end of the day, this is ours. So we need to make sure that at least we do it right, we follow the rules. There are rules of engagement. The OIC is very clear on the rules. So we knew we would play by the rules. We will not bend any rules. We'll do the right thing for this country. So after all that exercise, then we embark on the resource mobilization. And we know Saudi is the godfather of the OIC. So we had to go and sell to them our projects. So we went there, went to Turkey again, and I went to Dakar to meet all the ambassadors. I hand-delivered our brochures to each and every OIC member ambassador in Dakar. And I took questions, and they all pledged to support us. So they wrote back to their countries. So the Gambia has come, this is what they are doing. They want audience to come and meet the authorities. Because you have to get a date, that you don't just get up and go.
Yeah.
So we work with the foreign ministry directly on country-to-country relationship. We work with the Minister of Finance directly on the funding from each and every member agency, like the Saudi fund, the Kuwaiti fund, the Abu Dhabi fund, the fund of Brunei, the UAE. So all those bodies, we work with the Minister of Finance because they are the focal point. For the countries, to make appointments for meetings, we work with the Minister of Finance. So that's why you see most of the time I'm traveling with the Foreign Minister.
Affairs, yeah.
Minister, yes, and I did, yes. So it's a structured, it's a very structured in the way we do things, and then we follow the protocols as well. So we don't do things because we want to do things. We delay things because we don't have the response from the other party. So resource mobilization is very, very difficult.
So recently, you know, the news came out that Gambia was not hosting the OIC in 2019, and then in fact we got a story. You were in Morocco with the foreign minister, and we had the story from my reporter got the story from one of the Moroccan newspapers that Gambia was seeking support from Morocco to host the OIC in 2022. And at that point, another news outlet had already written that Gambia was not hosting in 2019. When the news came out, Gambians were really, a lot of people were disappointed. People were looking forward to this because some of the major things, development it will bring for the country. At what point did you guys decide that, no, we can definitely not host the 2019 summit. We need to work on getting 2022. How did that play out?
No, if as a technician, you know, I do take my time to understand the rules of the games wherever I am. Okay, if it's policy, I tend to make sure that I get my head around it. I'm a very nakumandia malafi moga femfonya. So when I go Google, I understand.
Yeah, understand.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I took my time to read the OIC chart, the procedures for meetings at this. I knew from day one when I read that, when I had those documents, that, oh, there's a window.
There's a window.
I knew there was a window. In case we have to use it, we'll use it at the right time. But at the end of the day, this is our country, and we need to rebuild it. We have our OIC. We need to prepare for it.
Yeah.
People want to host it, they couldn't get it.
Gambia has the opportunity.
So we can throw it.
And we have to do it right.
Yes, we can throw that.
Yeah.
So in the process, yes, that's why I said we had milestones to say, okay, December we get this, we can do this. January we get, so we keep moving the milestone because the key part is not coming through. A lot of countries, when we approach them, they say, we want to help, but we have to go through budget approval, we have to go through allocation because we didn't factor it in 2018 budget.
So if I get you right, the reason why the summit was postponed is because the financing did not come in early for the projects to be able to implement.
One of the reasons.
One of the main reasons.
Yes.
Because the conference center is not ready.
Almost ready.
The airport
is on.
on.
The new terminal is not started yet. We're going to demolish it and build a new one.
A new one.
Yeah, but
the
that's
hotel
all money.
As well.
That's
all money.
Exactly.
And that money is not yet right in.
It's not in the bank.
Are we getting that money though?
Yes.
That is important.
Bilateral help. This is not, we're not going to any agency directly to say bilateral, say multilateral, say, oh, give me money. No. What we did in our resource mobilization was to look at the member countries that have deep pockets.
Yeah.
We wrote to them. We went to see them. We presented our case.
Yeah.
So we need help. We need road. We need hotel. So each and everyone picked something that, yes, I can do this thing. So I start the process. But because we met the head of states, they pass the message to their relevance and they'll say, okay, we will do it, but we'll do it through this agency.
Yeah.
And those agencies has boards. So they're not like you come and they open their safe and go a checkbook and go. They go through. Yes, there's a lot of procedure in it. And then we got written proposals say, yes, we will do this thing, this. Yes, we have those. And we are following up. Now we are almost at the signing stage of major ones. So yes, it's coming. I've been in this for so many years, so I know a pledge is a pledge. It's taken to the bank. But then we also had made provision locally, in case we sign these agreements early, we can start these projects. You get me?
Yeah.
But in some of these countries, like I said, we went at a time when the budget cycle has passed. So they have to now find a way how to do these things, and it takes time. Some of them, they told me, we have to go to Parliament for approval. So it's not an easy thing to say that you just go, they give you. The ones that are very generous, that came to our aid quickly, they gave a small amount of money for the operation of the office. Like Kazakhstan, they gave us 100,000 to support our office. First, that took me, Azerbaijan gave us 50,000 pledge that they will support the office, not the project side.
The office, yeah.
The IDB also pledged to give us 300,000 to support the office. The Saudis sent 3 million directly, one transfer.
Wow.
So that has been what we've been using to support the operation of the Secretariat, all these travels, all the operations we're doing, the training we're doing with the Turkish, the JAD, everything is paid from there.
So, when you guys came out through the government and of course the Secretariat, you announced that it's been postponed to 2022. How certain are we that Gambia will host, considering that this summit is for the West African bloc, right?
Africa bloc.
Africa bloc. And what guarantee do you have from the sub-region that no one else is going to bid for 2022?
Like I said, in the chart, in the rules of procedure, it says if a member country cannot host and no other member country is ready to host within the same region or bloc, the summit falls into the General Secretariat host country, which is Saudi Arabia.
Saudi, yeah.
That means the bloc would have decided.
Okay. That they cannot host it in 2019.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they would say, this is our proposal. That was done.
Okay.
Not presented by Gambia. It was presented by the permanent representative of the Africa bloc in Riyadh. They went to the General Secretariat and presented the case that the hosting of the Africa Summit supposed to be in Banjul. We are not ready. We wanted to move it to 2022, and Gambia will be the host.
Oh, so meaning the Africa bloc presented the Gambia case, and of course, unanimously agreed that Gambia will host it in 2022.
So I have correspondence to that, if that's what you mean, if there's any confirmation.
Because there are a lot of allegations that Gambia gave our you Secretariat handed over, the government actually handed over our hosting to Saudi in exchange for some financial. Financial gains. That's 62 million.
To me and the president, right? They said I shared with the president. Is the one you're talking about?
Well, something like that.
No. But, Fatou, this is diplomacy, and there's a lot of geopolitics, which I don't want to talk about. But if you are involved in these kind of things, you learn a lot. I've learned a lot over the 1 year. 14 months I've been in this job. I'm grateful to the government for the opportunity because I've added something to my own personal development.
Yeah.
International politics, which I don't think I'm made for that.
Yeah.
But
So,
I have
yeah,
to
that
but
side is very interesting.
yes, but coming back to your point, yes, at some point a decision has to be made. And it has to be made on facts. But we have to be very strategic too. Remember, we are in a block that everybody is trying to build your country and change the profile of your country.
Yeah.
And this is going to change Gambia's profile. Already started.
Yeah.
And it would have been worse if we have the summit here unprepared.
Yes.
The damage would have been much expensive, and we would have lost a very big opportunity. What we did today, people are commending us. You don't understand, you don't believe the amount of calls I got for us standing up and saying, yes, we are not ready. Not from Gambians, but from the OIC member family. Most of the ambassadors in Dakar, they've reached out to me. We like a bravery to say the fact that this is the situation and not to... So again, people are saying, yes, we sold Gambia's right. No, we cannot sell Gambia's right. It was not the Gambia's right, it was Africa's right. And Africa chose Gambia. The same Africa went back and said, yes, 2019 is not ready, 2022 for Gambia.
So definitely 2022 is coming to Africa. Inshallah. And it's definitely going to be Gambia.
Yes,
so if we are able to successfully host the OIC in 2022, what does the Gambia, apart from the image, infrastructure-wise, economic-wise, what does the Gambia stand to benefit from a successful hosting of the OIC?
Two, you got a new destination for international conferences from all the major OIC families. OIC has over 22 satellite organizations around it.
Yeah.
And their bosses are coming for this summit. If they come here and we host a successful summit, everybody sees what Gambia can. I can tell you they will all be writing, say we want to host our AGMs or our meetings in Gambia. We already started that. And that's why I said it will change the profile of this country into an international conference destinations. My good friend keeps reminding me, we can call it the MICE. Because, look, people are looking for new venues. And we have a lot. We are very close, 5.5 hours to London, 6 hours to New York.
Yeah.
We have the Atlantic Ocean wide open.
Yeah.
Which country has that feature? We have a lot to offer. But until people come who can see that differently, and how are they going to come here? What are they going to? Why are they coming to Banjul? So we have to have something to sell. So that's why I said, with these facilities, most of these banks will have their AGMs here. They will invest.
A lot of people said the criticism is that this secretariat might not have the capacity to implement such a project. This project might just change. If successfully launched, will change the face of this country.
Yes.
But how prepared is the team?
Well, look, you have to remember, we have the projects that we are working on.
Yeah.
We've done a lot on the projects. We've done the evaluation of the contractors. We've done the evaluation of the consultants. The only two that are left is the water and electricity, which is in the papers. And anybody who buys that paper to read it, you know that this is not... It's an international standard.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people are complaining. So we've done it in a way that is very transparent. That's what we want. Tomorrow, if anybody who audits us or takes us to commission, we can bring and say this is what the process is.
Yeah.
Just like what we did with the recruitment, it's very open. The files are there. But to say that this secretariat is not competent, look at the people we have and the various areas. I'm not saying I'm the best in what I do with this kind of projects, but I've done multiple projects. I've managed projects bigger than this in terms of value. The one I just walked out of Iraq is what, 450. This is what, it's not even $280 million. So I'm not saying I'm the best, but at least I know what I do very well, and that's why I am. If I was not competent enough, I don't think I would be where I sit. But again, it's not about me. It's about the team, and I believe the team is capable enough to implement this project. One thing people must remember, project implementation doesn't have to be you. We have a structure. For example, each of these projects has a consultant, international consultant, that will design and supervise. the contractor will only bill. So there's segregation of duty. And the consultant works for the Secretariat. So the Secretariat doesn't have capacity. So I want people to understand that looking at me and Yang and Bandi and Yankuba and the team SR and all, they said, we are not contractors. So I'm going to contract. No. We have done the tender. Yeah. We have an evaluation committee, which is chaired by the DG of GAMWORKS. The technicians in that committee that drive that process, the procurement process. So it's not me or Esa or Nyang or Bandi or Yankuba doing it. No. We have structures. So we are just a facilitating agency that is supervising the work and what these people are doing, because it's about making sure that what we agreed with them in the contract is honored. So for example, today we are doing the water. NAWEC is working with us on this water. So it's not like NAWEC is sitting away. NAWEC is part of the committee. Gamtel, they are part of the Road Reserve Committee that is looking after all this infrastructure. So the Secretariat is a body, but it has a lot of organs that are responsible for different things. So are you saying that we don't have the capacity also to look at the security because we are not security people? But we have a security committee. The former IG is the chairman of the security committee. I think the head of operation in the army is there. So each of the security agencies in this country are represented in that committee to talk about security. So competence level is not what you look at the Secretariat. The Secretariat is more purely administration and to provide guidance and to facilitate.
What would be your response to people who say, you know, they extended the conference just to get paid more longer? Yesterday when you mentioned your budget, during the press conference, that was what was trending on social media. Really, 600,000. You know, that's our annual budget.
But that's not their salary.
Oh, that's not even salaries.
That's
right?
not salary.
That's
the budget.
That is the whole entire budget.
Yes.
Including salaries and everything.
Yes. So
I mean, there's been a lot of chatter out there. I mean,
look.
The monies that you know, I mean.
So you see why I said at the beginning that the government cannot pay me. Because if I add my salary to that,
but you are being paid by the government.
No.
Now we are able to pay you.
No. If you add my salary to that 600,000, my annual salary to that annual, that 600,000 is all the cost on an annual basis. Remember, we take care of a lot of things. When the OIC people visit, we pay.
Oh.
We pay their hotel bills. We pay their food. We host them. So people come here for OIC, we pay. The Rohingya conference, we paid for it. We budgeted for similar because we want to start testing Gambia's ability to host. So yes, the payroll is not that big compared to what our operational budget is. So you have the personnel cost, and then you have the operational part of it. So you can separate it. We have some capex that we did also. All the cars is ours. We paid for it. We don't have any loan. We don't borrow. So what we have,
and this is all money that the Secretariat itself
generate.
Yes,
yes. We want to beg for.
Beg for, yeah.
Okay. So we are not, well, in my view, they are not well paid. But also, we were very fair to them. I was very clear from the beginning that we need to get people, they need to be fully paid because they're going to leave their jobs to come here for a contract. They're on contract.
They need to be committed.
They're on contract.
Yeah.
So again, my response to that, no, they're not extending because they're not involved in the extension. They didn't ask for it. Each and everyone at the beginning had a 2-year contract. You know? So the contract is very clear. And we made a budget and we presented the budget to the board for approval. And the salary is some of the projects the government runs, they earn more than what the secretary staff earn. And nobody is talking about that. So, but then, to answer the question, we are not extending the project to get more money for people. No.
Wow.
Okay, and let me make this clear. That
it's important.
The notion around on the noise on people earn dollars at the Secretariat, yes, it creates a lot of problem because people came for interviews and when they asked what is the pay, we said, but we are told you pay in dollars. We don't pay in dollars. We pay in dollars. So the information out there is wrong. And to say that, yes, they are earning fat salaries, I am not paid a salary. I'm not on the payroll. Even my medical bill is not paid by the government.
What do you mean you're not paid a salary?
I'm not on. I told you I'm here on secondment, so I refuse to.
So you're not. You don't pay. You don't take salary.
Even medical bill they don't pay. I told them no. I'm okay. I have my medical insurance, and my employer will take care of it, because that's the agreement I have with them. That this is a proposal.
So you are rendering this service to the country free of charge.
Yeah. In the proposal, they gave me a house. That at Burfoot, I will have a house at Burfoot with a maid, and utilities fully paid, and everything, telephone and everything, utility car. I told them, I don't need all that. I don't need that. You can come to the Secretariat tomorrow and look at my cost. Maybe the only thing they give me when I travel, I have to pay my hotel bills. But they pay me a normal per diem like anybody else who's traveling. That's it.
That's it. No salary.
The telephone is mine. The laptop I use is mine. Because I have 3. Why would I want to go and take a government asset? What am I going to do with it? It has no value to me. I have my own. So if I want to help, I will help. The best way I want to do it. So I came into this project not to say I'm coming here, I'm going to look at it. No, I did not. And I will never. I will never do that.
That is interesting, because the notion out there is really,
No,
that is very...
I'm not that kind of person. The people who know will tell you I'm not a money person. I'm not, nah.
So one thing I want to go before, I know I'm being signaled, we're running out of time. But, you know, in the infrastructure part, there are going to be some, especially the dual carriageway that you're going to, I mean, a lot of us have been yearning for something like this. You close home, you want to get to your house, it takes you hours to get to Senegambia. But there are so many buildings across the road. You know what someone told me? OIC Secretariat, those are the kind of things. So what have you put in place for people like that? You know, when you go through the Senegambia highway, I see the signs where they put -23. That means you're going to go in that deep to break people's homes. And how mentally that is very, very painful, but also financially. How are people going to be compensated if their houses are going to be destroyed?
You know, yes, I don't want to say I'm not sensitive to the concerns. I am very sensitive. Yeah. We demonstrated that when we moved the location of the hotel, which was the identified location for the hotel before we even set up the Secretariat. Yeah. I came in, I found that the hotel is supposed to be built on the Monkey Park side. And because of the environmental noise and everybody complained that, yes, you can't do that, we need a park in the city. And yes, we said, okay, let's sit and review this. We wrote to the authorities and yes, this was the place that was identified for the hotel. Yes, it's good, because security reasons it's closer. Yeah. Protocol-wise, you don't have to. But then we also have the other voice. You have to listen to the other voice.
People, yeah.
And the people, because we're doing this for people. So we need Gambians to be on board with this project. We believe we need to look for an alternative. And then the government said, okay, let's look for an alternative. Okay. So again, on this same issue, we couldn't have made a decision without having the facts. And the only way you can have a facts on this kind of project is to say, okay, let's do the assessment. One, value the properties on the road that will be affected, determine what is the distance between the edge or where the location of the house and the radius of the median of the road, because normally that's what you do from the middle of the road to where you want it. So is it 40 meters? Is it 20? So depending on what the plan was. The plan was 1983 plan for this dual carriage. Now the plan was done. I wouldn't say people, but I would say the authorities allocated. They gave land to people on the same road when they know it's a road. So I'm not blaming people, but I blame people who approved those allocations, knowing fully it's a road. It's designed for a road. The future will need it. When this place was this road was being built, the settlement here was not that big. But today, look at the place; it's congested, highly dense. But then this road, if the authorities at the time still within the rules not to allocate anybody within the distance that was stipulated, we wouldn't have this problem. So what do we do?
What do we
We are
do?
the authorities. You cannot say, oh, no, you don't do that. So we had to sit back and say, okay, you know what, and let's go into this exercise. It's going to take us back.
Yeah.
But yes, we're not in a hurry. We're not in a hurry. We need to get it right.
You get it right.
Once for all, let's get it right.
Let's get it right.
Yes.
That's very important.
Let's get it right. Yeah. So we said, you know what? I told the project manager that, look, when you go to the meeting today, because the road reserve committee, they meet at the Secretariat every Thursday. Gamtel, NAWEC, KMC, Birkama Area Council, Fire Service, people from the road department, people from the Ministry of Works and Civil Aviation, so police and on the securities, and they discussed it. And he came to me and said, I think we can do something. I said, let's go. So we engaged the Minister of Physical Planning, Lands and Survey, that we want you to do evaluation exercise for us to determine. Now, to do that, you have to mark.
Yeah.
Oh, Lamin, oh, the OIC is going to break our houses. They came, they put people writing to AG chambers, petition, but that was not essence. Even it got to a certain point that they told people that I said they should break their houses. I got calls. But I knew that was not the plan. So we kept quiet. We said, how much is it going to cost? They came with their bill. We paid. Do it for us. We need to know.
Yeah.
We need to get the facts. So they did the valuation exercise and gave us the report. So based on that report, we said, hey, we have options. Can we pay compensation to everybody?
Along the line, yeah.
We can't without the money.
You can't.
I don't have the money. And the money I have to build the road, I'd rather go build new city than get people move away. I cannot pay that amount of money. I don't have it. If I say I have it, I'm lying. I don't have it. So I have to go beg again for another $10 to $15 million to pay compensation. What am I going to explain? How will I tell people give me money? Based
Is
on
it
what?
possible to embed? That was not possible to embed in the cost of the road.
No, because we already decided that I have a reserve price for the road, but that's not the way I want to run these things, because I have other plans for that difference to do more projects. Okay, so we said, okay, you know what? Let's go back to the original plan. So we put the plan on the table. I sat with the engineers. I said, look, today we have to get a solution. We're not going to leave it. But because I discuss this with the president every time we meet, and he also has his ideas, so he said, look, I'm going to know Jube. We sat, I told the engineers, let's find a solution. We came up with, say, okay, let's see the speed, the size we're looking at, the distance between these things, what is best? So we played with those things and we got something. I'm not saying nobody is going to be affected, because the road has to have a part.
But just few people. It will be minimized.
I think so. Well, the technicians will tell me, yes, let's wait until we do this. But then from what I see and my experience in this, yes, I think we should be able to, a lot will not be affected. Alhamdulillah, that we should be able to build the dual carriage, put what we want to put. But then there was we wanted to have a bigger green area.
Yeah.
So maybe that will go.
We
don't have the green area. But we want to also put an exit, because I don't like people taxi drivers just drive on the road and just stop. So we need to have exit points where people can drop off people and then join the traffic again. We need to have lighting. Yeah. The cyclists, we want to do tourism. People should be able to ride bikes or exercise on the road without being scared of the car, cars hitting you or something. So the pedestrian side also will be there. So we've created something very, very nice.
That is considerable.
Considerable, and I think we should be. That's a compromise for us.
Wow, that is really refreshing for people walking, living around that area.
We want to have a very good place where people can walk around and exercise.
Finally, 2022, if we are able to host the OIC,
Inshallah.
What happens to every other thing? You mentioned that at the beginning. You said the plan was, let's work on getting it done, but also when it's done after.
Yeah, it's still on. The board had agreed in principle on the management of these assets. So as we now get closer, the idea was, let's finish the resource mobilization, start implementing the projects. Then we now move to the next phase. While the projects have been built, now we work on who is going to manage it after the summit. So that's still on.
I just wanted to ask, when you told the president we're going to, when you agreed, how did it feel How did he feel knowing that he had to go back to the people and tell them we're not doing it 2019, 2022? You know how politicians, they worry. How was it like when he got the news? I know.
You know, we talk a lot, we discuss things. And there's a lot of respect between us. And we discuss things openly. I think there is this understanding among us that we want the best for this country. We might differ in approach, which is normal, but at the end of the day, we'll sit down and talk about things. And we'll say, okay, we all agree on something. That would be one of the times you said, no, I don't agree with this. You give your reason, and he'll tell me, then we'll talk about it. Okay, because I report to him directly. And this project is very supportive, honestly. He's been very, very supportive of me. And he's giving me a free hand. He doesn't call me, no, he doesn't give me instructions. No. And I thank him for that, because at least otherwise we wouldn't have gone this far. It would have been difficult. And also maybe I wouldn't have the opportunity to sit and say, look, So he was involved from the beginning, and he was fully advised. And, you know, when we have to take a decision, he's there. He's been, you know, he went to Saudi with us. And, you know, we for the OIC, we discussed things. And generally, I'm very comfortable with what he's been doing on this project. He's told me several times, look, I believe in you, I know what you're doing. So if you have any issue, come back to me. If you have any problem, come. And he's been very, very supportive. Anytime I go there, I want something, I get it. Wow. Yes, I get it. I've not gone to him, I say, I want this. I told you, no. He'll tell me, okay, but give me time, or let's do this, or let's do that. Or he'll call the person and say, look, this is what Lamin thinks, let's do it. If you have issues, bring it up. So we have that relationship, working with relationship. Yeah, and I think that's important. Yeah, because at the end of the day, this country belongs to all of us. Yeah. He's the president, and he's going to be the chairman. By the way, you asked earlier a question, how assurance, now he's the vice chair. He's the vice chair? Yes, he's going to be the vice chair. Normally there's what we call the bureau. The bureau normally comprises of the chair, the new chair, the outgoing chair, which is the Turkish president, which will be the rapporteur. Then you have the coming chair as a vice. So his alternate is the president of Guinea. So that tells you Gambia is getting... That tells us we're getting closer. Yes. So inshallah 2022. So he's very much involved in the project. You might not see him, he might not talk about it, but probably because he's dealing with me and he's comfortable, so he doesn't get involved. But he's fully aware. He's fully aware of everything. He's giving me 100% support so far. And for Gambians who are worried about the changes and all this, what's your final message to Gambians? No, I mean, like I said yesterday, let's come together. This is ours. At the end of the day, it's Gambia flag. When you go outside, they talk about Gambia. Yeah. I'm just representing Gambia. Tomorrow it could be you. Yeah. Tomorrow it could be somebody else. Yeah. So let's support each other and make sure that this dream we have to rebrand our country, we achieve it. Some of us are very young, in a way. People say you are getting old. Some will say you are still young. But I think we're committed to make sure that we support this country and the government to get to where we want to get to. Now, in doing that, we also need the public to understand that any decision we take or whatever actions we do is in the interest of this country. At the end of the day, this country first. I always say Gambia first. Gambia first. And what that means is all of us, our differences, we should put it aside. And when we discuss Gambia, we look at what is best for Gambia. Because we all live in Gambia. Yeah. I don't live here, but my family doesn't live here. But that doesn't mean I don't live here. Yeah. My mom is here, my uncle, all my investment is here. So I live in Gambia. Yeah. So I'm a stakeholder, I call it. Yeah. I call myself a key stakeholder in Gambia. So Gambians, we are good at what we want to do if we want to do it. I believe coming together, speak one voice, and work together. Our office is open. We are open to critics. Anybody who knows me, I'm very open to critics. I listen. Yes, we will argue. I'll give you my point. But that doesn't mean I'm always right. I always say to the team that, yes, I might be the boss, but I'm not always right. And it's not about me, it's about us. So let's sit and discuss things and take position. We fight in the office, honestly, we do. Yeah. And I want that to continue. People should be given the right to speak up wherever they're not comfortable and say it. And then we learn from each other. So my message to every Gambian is, please, we might not be able to host it this year, not because we don't want to, but we want the best for our country. And we want the best for everybody. Yeah. hosting this summit will change everybody's life. Every Gambian will have a happy. So let's work together, come back together as one team. We have a program that we are starting called the awareness program, which Nyang is spearheading across the country. I think you are part of the program, Kerr Fatou and others. So we want to engage everybody. When we get more money, we'll do more projects. And we want the provinces also to be part of the OIC. We don't want the OIC to be seen as Greater Banjul project. So we have other initiatives for each region, which we are going to work on. So inshallah, with the prayers, we are in Ramadan, we ask for forgiveness. And we're forgiving anybody who had wronged us. We are in the holy month. So inshallah, we should pray. Urge all the imams and the religious leaders and the churches and the other religious praying places to pray for the country so that we continue to prepare in peace and stability to make sure that we welcome our brother Muslims and sisters in Banjul in 2022, inshallah. And we have a good 10 days of summit, and then that will be the beginning of more summits in Gambia. And I want to thank you also for inviting me. I know it's not been easy to get me.
Yeah.
But at least today you managed to get me. Yes.
Yeah.
So we thank you for your support so far, and we look forward to a good collaboration. And we are very open. So feel free if you need anything, clarify.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, Fatou. It's a pleasure.
Thank you very much, Lamin, and we definitely appreciate this interview. Just like you said, we had tried to get you on the platform way before this, but your schedules are always, and definitely Mr. Nyang Jai did try a lot to help us put this interview together, and we want to thank him, and we want to thank you for your time, and definitely I think Gambians will understand, yes, we need to host the OIC, but we want to get it right. We want to get it right just like other countries did, and thank you very much for coming. Good night to you all, and see you next week. Bye-bye.